Four Corners. All About Bikes. By Susan McCloskey. Bicycle Basics. What has two wheels, does not need fuel and is used by people around the world? The answer is a bicycle or bike. A bicycle is a machine with two wheels. People ride bikes by sitting on a seat called a saddle. They push two pedals with their feet to make the wheels go around. Bikes are used for transport, sport, and just plain fun. Bikes are quiet and clean. They do not use fuel, so they do not pollute the air. Most bikes are not expensive, and they are certainly faster than walking. The history of bicycles. The first bicycles. In 1817, Baron Karl von Drais of Germany invented a two-wheeled machine to help him walk faster. The machine was made out of wood. Riders sat on its seat and pushed it along with their feet, like a scooter. This walking machine became known as the hobby horse. In 1870, the penny farthing was developed. It was made of metal and had pedals attached to a large front wheel. It was one of the first machines to be called a bicycle. The word bicycle means two wheels. Bicycles were popular in Europe and the United States. Women in the 1800s could not ride the penny farthing. Their long skirts got in the way of the wheels. In the 1880s, the tricycle, or three-wheeler, became popular with female riders. They could sit between the two back wheels and pedal. In 1885, the Rover safety bicycle was invented. Unlike the penny farthing, both wheels on this bike were about the same size. That made the bike more stable. It was also closer to the ground than the penny farthing. The cyclist, or rider, pushed on the pedals to turn a chain. The chain made the back wheel turn. The frame of the Rover safety bicycle was shaped like a diamond. The frame is the main part of a bike. All the other parts are attached to the frame. The frames of most bikes today are the same shape as the Rover. In 1888, Dr. John Dunlop made a rubber tire filled with air. This softer tire made bike riding much more comfortable. The earlier tires had been made of solid, hard rubber. Then in the 1890s, the first gear systems for bicycles were invented. People could ride up hills more easily and quickly with gears. More people rode bicycles than ever before. Bicycles cost less to buy as they became more popular. Both men and women used them for transport and for fun. Bike wear of the 1800s. The bike craze of the late 1800s changed the style of women's dress. Women began wearing bloomers, a type of short pants gathered at the knee. Women in long skirts could ride Rover safety bicycles that didn't have a crossbar. Important dates in the history of bicycles. 1817, Drais hobby horse. 1861, front pedal bicycle. 1870, penny farthing bicycle. 1880s, tricycle becomes popular. 1885, Rover safety bicycle. Bikes in the 1900s. Bike sales fell between 1914 and 1918. This was during World War I. After the war, bike manufacturers wanted to increase sales. They started making children's bikes. These bikes were smaller than adult bikes. Some also looked like cars or motorcycles to catch children's attention. This 1920s advertisement shows some of the first children's bikes. Molten bikes became popular in the early 1960s. Bikes remained much the same between 1920 and the early 1960s. Then in 1962, the molten bike was introduced. The molten frame was different from the usual diamond shape. It also had very small, hard tires. The tires helped the bike move very quickly. Important dates in the history of bicycles. 1890s, women's bicycle frame. 1890s, bicycles for multiple riders. 1920s, children's bicycles become popular. 1962, molten bicycle. 1970s, mountain biking becomes popular. 1980s, fold-up bicycle becomes popular. Modern bikes. The bikes of today are faster, safer, and more comfortable than bikes from long ago. New materials and technology are used to make them. Bicycles can be made to fit many different needs. Some bikes are designed so that they can be folded up and carried away. This human-powered vehicle's shape helps it cut through the air smoothly. King Cycle Bean. Bikes of tomorrow. Bikes of the future will probably be made of even lighter materials than today's bikes. They might look like small, two-wheeled cars. People are developing human-powered vehicles, HPVs, that have 2 or 3 wheels. In the two-wheeled King Cycle Bean, the cyclist pedals in a reclined sitting position. The shape of the hard outer covering helps the cyclist move through the air smoothly. This is the front view of the King Cycle Bean. Using bikes. People use bikes in many ways. Some people use bikes for transport and others use them in their work. Some athletes choose to make a career out of cycling. People also use bikes for exercise and recreation. A trishaw taxi is common in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. This British police officer used a bike while on patrol during the 1940s. Bikes for work. Since the invention of the bicycle, people have used them for work. In the early 1900s, mail carriers used them to deliver mail. Police officers rode them. People who needed to carry heavy loads attached carts to bikes. People also used bikes to get to their jobs. People continue to use bikes for their work. Police officers and postal workers still ride bikes in some cities. Food vendors attach carts to bikes to carry things around. Business people ride bikes to their offices. Delivery people use bikes to deliver mail and packages. Bikes for fun. Many people enjoy bicycling for fun. Families and large groups love to go bike riding together. Cycling clubs are popular in many places. Groups of cyclists plan cross-country rides and tours. Some people enjoy exploring new areas on a bicycle. Cycling is also a good way to keep fit and healthy. Exercise bikes are specially designed for indoor use. They allow people to cycle without going anywhere. More than 120 cyclists compete in the Tour de France each year. Bikes for competing. Some cyclists enjoy participating in bike competitions. The world's most famous bicycle race is the Tour de France. This race is usually about 3,400 kilometers long. It takes about 3 weeks to complete. Cyclists pass through steep mountains and dangerous roads. The winner works hard for the prize money. Bike events. Cycling competitions are common across the world. Events such as downhill racing and BMX contests are very popular. Special bikes. Bikes are made for many kinds of cycling. They are built to handle all types of riding surfaces. Some bikes are built for doing tricks. Other bikes can seat more than one cyclist. Mountain bikes. A mountain bike is a good choice for off-road riding. Its sturdy frame is easier to balance and stop quickly. The bike's wide tires give the cyclist a smoother ride over bumps. The tires usually have deeper treads, or grooves, to grip the rough trail. This cyclist rides a mountain bike on a snowy hill. This child's special bike is attached to an adult bicycle. Multi-cyclist bikes. Some bicycles are built so that cyclists can enjoy riding together. A bike built for two is called a tandem bike. The front cyclist steers and both cyclists pedal together. There are also special bicycles that can be added onto other bicycles. These bicycles or tricycles allow for one or more cyclists to be towed by the front cyclist. They are a good way for new or young cyclists to learn to ride. Recumbent bikes. A recumbent bike can have either 2 or 3 wheels. The cyclist sits in a chair-shaped seat and pedals with their legs extended out in front. This position makes it comfortable to ride. Cyclists often choose recumbent bikes for long distances. They are faster than most other road bikes. They are also easier to steer and brake. This speedy recumbent bike has 3 wheels and above-seat steering. The disc wheel on the back of this racing bike helps the bike go faster. Racing bikes. A racing bike is lightweight and built for speed. The frame is shaped so that the bike rides through the air easily. The narrow wheels move smoothly over the ground and through the air. The specially shaped handlebars allow a cyclist to ride quickly in a crouched position. Racing bikes work best on smooth roads and tracks. Bikes solve problems. Many people worry about dirty air or air pollution. People also worry about the earth running out of oil for petrol. This is the fuel that most cars use. They worry about the amount of traffic in many cities. Bikes can help solve some of these problems. Road training teaches young cyclists how to ride their bikes safely. Many government leaders are encouraging people to ride bikes more often. In many cities, people are asked to use bikes instead of cars for short trips. Several cities have added bike paths and parking spaces for bikes to make bike riding easier and safer. Bicycle training is offered for both children and adults. Learning the rules of the road and practicing good riding skills help people become smarter, safer cyclists. Bike smart. In the Netherlands, bikes are so popular that riders have their own traffic lights. Stop. Get ready. Go, if it's safe. Japan solves its bike parking problem with bike parking lots. Some countries encourage people to travel or commute to and from work by bicycle. Each day in Japan, about 3 million commuters cycle to the train station. They travel the rest of the way to work by train. That helps in overcrowded cities where there is not enough space for car parks. The bicycle is already the most commonly used form of personal transport. It is likely that many more people will be riding bikes in the future and that people will continue to make even faster, lighter bikes. Glossary. Commuters. People who travel back and forth to work. Cyclist. A person who rides a bike. Frame. The main piece of a bike that holds all of the other parts together. Pedals. The parts of a bike that a cyclist pushes to make the bike move forwards. Recreation. Activities people enjoy in their free time. Saddle. The seat of a bike. Stable. Not likely to fall over or break down, firm and steady. Tandem. A bicycle with 2 seats and sets of pedals placed one behind another. Transport. A way people move from one place to another. Treads. The outer layers of tires, containing grooves for gripping the road or trail.